Hello, welcome back, and this will be game 4. It will be between Here for the Memes, Team 1 on the blue side, and SwoleTeamSix on the purple side. Yep, we're just going into Champion Select now. Now we're gonna see what the Champion Select, not the schedule. Well done, Hunter. We have this overlay, understand it? Okay, so we've got a Graves ban here. I don't really understand the Graves ban because I have never seen anyone in SwoleTeamSix play Graves even once.
I think Graves is still
it's a pretty solid meta ban, but I don't think it was going to occur to anybody in that team to pick it anyway. The Lysandra ban, again, we have not seen it get through a single game so far.
Yeah. I think Graves could be slightly targeted, but yeah, it's probably just not wanting to deal with certain things. And
the Brom, and the Zed. Finally, we're not going to see a game with Zed in. I was getting a little bit bored of it personally. Glad that it's been banned.
But yeah, Zed is just too damn good, and the amount of swing he can bring to a game is a little bit
pretty incredible. Now, I'm hoping they're going to ban Sejuani next, just for personal reasons.
No,
we get a Malzahar.
That's probably a more... That is
more reasonable and understandable, yeah.
That is probably a bit more of a targeted ban.
Just a tad.
Malzahar on Earth mode is kind of dumb, but in normal mode, probably not so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure about the Braum though, unless that's a bit of a targeted ban.
The support player for SwoleTeamSix does play Braum a fairly decent amount, but
I'm pretty sure Cerebrum does also play a lot of Morgana and Leona as well.
And the Sejuani ban, thank goodness, I'm not going to have to deal with that word that I can legitimately not say. Okay, no surprise there, they've gone for the Katarina.
Yeah, that's the second Katarina first pick. That's actually the third Assassin first pick
that we've had in the game so far. So we've got a Vi and a Leona, so there's quite an aggressive, engaged team straight off the bat.
That has a lot of ways to lock down the Katarina.
Yes.
If they get their way, the Katarina is not going to be able to do anything.
No.
Assault and battery, the charging, all of the Leona CC. Katarina should not be able to do a hell of a lot in these fights.
As a rule, you generally find Vi is as popular or unpopular in any given meta as Katarina is. Yeah. If Katarina has become a big thing in the meta, you'll see Vi being a direct response. If she's not, then you don't see her much.
Yeah, Vi usually comes in when you have those mobile assassins who you really need to lock down, but also not assassins not too mobile that they can just drag the Vi into the enemy team. Yeah. Beyond all hope of saving, but
let's not forget, Vi's champion can just unleash tons of damage, irrelevant of how tanky she builds because of that percentage-based denting loads.
And Ezreal locked in instantly.
And Nana again.
Another Na.
Nana. Sounds like a Lady Gaga song. I would be surprised to see that Urgot get through, but I've seen weirder things.
Okay, he's just cycling through champions. It's probably not all that important to look at when he's hovering.
Terminal Defeat has got his Gnar again,
Got the Gnar again. The Ezreal I've actually seen a fair bit on Wacky Ninja. He does play that a fair bit. It's probably one of his most played champions. Yeah. So that's pretty good for him to get.
Shrupi does love his Aurelia. And pretty much when you're talking about Shrupi, there is only either Aurelia or Fizz. Those are his two go-tos. So I would be surprised if we see this changing away. Again, quite an aggressive, damage-centric champion, but with that that kind of powerful CC as well.
She does become really durable and a really great brawler. Yeah. And she can actually deal with Na rather well.
Because Na very frequently has more health than her, absolutely. So gets that stunned.
Looking at the Blitzcrank, I'm not
sure what I feel Blitzcrank is actually providing the team. I would...
until we...
that
makes a bit more sense.
Jinx or Corki, we're now in territory we understand.
An actual AD carry or actual something that's not just another support.
Yeah.
But they do have a rather well-rounded team comp right now. They do have the durability, they have the damage, they have the CC to lock down a champion like Katarina.
Yeah.
But on the other side, they pick up the Hecarim, which can just...
Hecarim we haven't seen so far.
It has been banned.
It has been banned, and there's a reason for that. Hecarim is such a solid pick. This is the first time it's got through, and I'm not surprised that we're seeing it.
It actually looks like this Hecarim is going to be a jungle.
A jungle pony. The jungle pony, to me, has always been the scariest type of pony, but other people don't agree. Persona, really solid, stable pick. We're going to see an Ari, I think. That's
He's pretty good. Against the Katarina, we'll probably want to go into an early Abyssal, or if not that, an Athene's, just to try and reduce some of the damage that the Katarina is bringing out.
Mm-hmm.
Other options to go against the Katarina, which I really love, is a Cho'Gath, but I don't think...
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a Cho'Gath.
I really want to, but yeah,
really want to see a Bard, and I've reconciled myself to the fact I'm not going to see a Bard today.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
That Ari is the lock-in, so that will be Whoopi on the
Ari, Roots on the Vi, Footy's back up on his ADC.
Shrupi with the Aurelia.
Yes, and once again, as you're saying, the Wacky Ninja has got his Ezreal, Meme God, such a wonderful name, has got his Katarina. Yeah, everybody is very much in the roles that... Yeah. If you haven't realised, we actually know these teams slightly better than we know some of the previous teams that have played.
We kind of know these people outside of the game a lot more than in the game, but yeah, it does help when it comes to this sort of thing. But yeah,
I'm not allowed to say anything bad about any of the people in SwoleTeamSix because they all know where I live. So they're awesome, best people ever. Don't hurt me or break my stuff.
Okay, so we should be getting into the delay, or the spectator delay, in a bit.
Portion very shortly.
Okay.
There you go, the 3-minute spectator delay. Now, what would you like to talk about, Hunter?
The pony.
The pony. Okay, I have two things though that are important about the pony pick to me. Okay, one of them has to be Rainbow Pony. If it's not Rainbow Pony, I'm gonna be a sad man.
Everyone should have the Rainbow Pony. Yeah. The skins were given out
at so many events.
So
I think
freely.
I had about 4 of them at one point.
Absolutely.
And yes, Rainbow Pony is love, Rainbow Pony is life. But the other thing that I'm intrigued about the pony pick is how resilient they can... how resilient the Spirit of Dread makes him in the jungle.
Yeah.
And given how difficult... how difficult a lot of the junglers are finding the current jungle meta.
Yeah.
Spirit of Dread means that this ferociously tough pony is just charging out of the jungle at the speed of light around level 3.
That's not directly.
And just knocking people about angrily. He's literally my favourite jungler. I mean, you know how often I play Hecarim. Like, I love him as a champ. Although, that said, Vi is one of the most directly helpful counters to Hecarim, because it doesn't matter how fast he runs, she always keeps up. Yeah. Which is always good.
Yeah, like with the Hecarim, like I can understand him in the jungle. He does kind of work in the jungle, but I feel like the items that he needs to apply the pressure, he can the amount of gold that you need for that, to get the early home guard boots, the early early-ish Triforce, and then going into a durable build, you kind of need the income that you get from a top laner more so than what you get from a jungler.
That's a valid point. The counterpoint I would go for, that the top lane Hecarim is a beast who gets among the middle of things and is relying primarily on his damage and the synergy with his Spirit of Dread to keep him alive. Jungle Hecarim it's more of a Thresh. It's not doing as much damage. It's relying on his allies to provide the damage for him.
And just being an obnoxious presence.
He's just that obnoxious twerp that's knocking everyone around and making his allies apply more damage. I think that's more useful, personally, because there are top laners that do the job of staying alive and doing damage and disrupting a bit better. I would argue Shen and Malphite do both of those jobs slightly better than Hecarim do. Hecarim has more damage than either of them.
Yeah.
But we're in the same kind of league.
Yeah. But Hecarim also does, when he's played from the top lane, he does have that split push pressure, which is something really good. And when he has all those items, he can push down a tower like nothing else. Yeah,
there are very few champions that can actually match Hecarim for upfront tower damage if he's had the ability to just build a Triforce.
Absolutely.
pretty damn scary, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, there are certain matchups that Hecarim cannot build a Triforce because he will be too pressured.
Yeah, there are matchups that can outrange him and just apply too much pressure for him to actually get going. And yes, he does have the Arcade Hecarim. We can be
excellent. Life is as it should be. I was worried then for a second, but it's all good now.
Everything is all good. Okay.
We're experiencing a sort... Oh no, it's completely cleared up actually, where it's a much lower drop frame rate than it has been previously. Once again, if you're having a problem with stuttering and buffering, the VODs will be available for watching after the fact.
And we've
got a slight pause. We might just go and see what this is about.
We go immediately into a pause. So that should be cleared up rather quickly. People are just taking a little bit of time getting into the game. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. We'll just...
What was the thing? Sorry, peeps.
Yeah,
it's people in here for the memes again have unfortunately had connection issues, but that's fine.
But yeah, that's just what you get with Australian internet.
Yes,
unless you were part of the fortunate few who actually get...
like the people, us right now, using the NBN, the shattered remnants of it that we were actually allowed to keep. It's wonderful. Yeah. It's great. I love it.
It's actually viable internet instead of everything else. Yeah. But that happens when you...
Yeah, hopefully, yep, we've had the cat reconnected, and that's hopefully bodes well for us actually being able to get... We should actually apply the overlays properly.
That might help.
Professionalism, we're great at it.
Ooh, okay. Shouldn't be too long before we get into game. There we go. Are we getting...
Play will resume in 3, 2, 1. I'm bad at counting seconds, apparently.
Yes, you are. Not a problem. That's not what we're here for.
Yes, we have clocks for that.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously, the only even marginally unconventional item choice is the Aurelia flask. Obviously makes a lot of sense. Aurelia has mana problems at the very early.
And also, if you're going up against a ranged opponent...
You know you're going to take that damage very early and you need to counter it.
Sustain is like probably the key to an early Aurelia lane.
Now, remember in some of the earlier games you saw the Malphite matchup, Aurelia has none of those advantages at the beginning, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we've got a very traditional line of scrimmage again. We've got 2 wards up in the Tribush of top lane. I don't think we're going to see an invade, but the last time I said that we saw a mini one, and, you know, the world does like to prove me wrong. There was a Zed, he got on the wrong side and had to execute. It was kind of glorious.
Well, that wasn't so much of an invade, that was just a catching out in the mid lane, but that happens.
It did indeed.
I think this is like one of the first games that we've had today where both junglers have the potential to invade.
Both of them are invade.
They can brawl.
Possible, yes.
They have the potential to brawl early. Vi really strong at brawling, especially with the passive shield that she gets.
Yeah, and the damage scaling on her excessive force is surprisingly powerful early game.
Absolutely.
And Hecarim's no slouch either.
He can just sit amongst anyone or anything and just twirl his little
scythe back and forth
like a helicopter.
Yeah. It's not quite the mental image I had going on, but yes, you can do that. It
is very much like a helicopter when playing in Earth.
Yes, okay, but we're not in Earth, thankfully, because I would not be able to cast that. My brain does not work quickly enough.
That is just mental. But yeah, just standard Grom starts for both junglers.
Junglers, not surprising. They get quite a lot of support from their appropriate lane. Actually does put Gnar slightly behind, in that I believe Aurelia has already picked up her first CS.
Yeah.
And Gnar will probably have lost 1. Yes, he has. 2, in fact.
That could be problematic. Just that early experience level, advantage is going to be really important. Getting that first level 2.
Meme God is, I believe, disconnected. Yes, because she's coughing far too many orbs of deception to the face, for any reasonable... Yeah, we're not allowed to move, apparently, when we're paused.
Not a problem. But yeah, it's probably just more of the same net issues.
Yeah. It is raining, and obviously we're...
Australian internet.
Yeah, we can't say or stress that often enough.
Whole copper wire stuff, and all those jokes actually do run true. Especially around here.
Yes, indeed, stream hype, and I do look like a fat Charlie Santa, you are correct. Just looking at the chat for the first time.
Okay, we are able to get back in the
excellent. It looks like we've got somebody reconnect. Excellent.
There we go.
Again.
And Namegon's just going to have to deal with that little bit of
auto
attack
attack. Put
damage.
on the back foot. An Orb of Deception and a Charm would probably finish her off at this point. Let's hope she's feeling maneuverable.
Good thing she started with boots, so she was able to get a handful of pops.
Yeah, oh, there it is! And the Orb of Deception doesn't do that much true damage on the return yet because, well, no AP. That was an unfortunate Zenith Blade because it goes straight through the Ezreal and hits the Sona.
It does apply a lot of damage. Like, the Sona is really squishy, so getting the damage onto the Sona just forces her to play a whole lot more back in the lane.
That said, she can sit back a little, heal, and then if Zenith Blade lands on the Ezreal, can just unload a whole bunch of damage on him.
Yeah. Ooh,
possibly tons of damage if she... Although she's copying a lot of poke.
The Phosphorus Bomb landing on the flash and the engage with the Zenith Blade. Oh, that did not...
There was a nice flash away, and now, unfortunately, Ezreal has Corki's number. There's a little bit of minion block, but thankfully the large minion gets in the way of the Ezreal Q as well.
Yeah, able to get away with that, with only flashes burned from the Sona and the Leona.
Now, again, in mid, it seems that they're trading relatively favourably now for the cat. That Leona's in the bush looking for another Zenith Blade. I don't trust her.
Bit of the shifty eyes.
Yeah.
Well, at least that in the mid lane, now that Katarina's able to heal up with all those potions, she's able to at least stay in the lane and actually
compete.
Yes.
Which is
able
nice. It's not one-sided.
Able to farm efficiently and able to keep in line with the farm. Which is actually pretty impressive considering the melee versus range matchup, but yeah.
Shampoo does give her options that a lot of other melee champions lack, as well as bouncing blades and then cooldowns rather than mana, but... Unfortunately, the Ahri does seem to be copying a lot of those bouncing blades when Cat's... Oh, it looks like Nam might be in trouble. We get the Vault Breaker, the Excessive Force, and the Denting Blows, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
The red buff slow was applied, but it was not enough, and the Irelia was just a little bit too far away to actually follow up on that engage.
Yeah.
And they didn't even... Well, did they blow the flash? It seems like they've blown the flash, but that might have been blown a little bit before.
Yeah.
Still, flash is down, and they could get another gank onto that, but the Nara went back and tipped it back in with a Vamp Scepter. So it should be okay to continually harass the Irelia, but yeah.
So we've got the smite bonus from the Raptors. They're cleaning out wards, meaning that the next rotation round is unlikely Katarina will have the pre-warning.
Absolutely. Just a little bit more trading all throughout the lanes. There's a whole lot of farming while...
Yeah, both are playing a relatively passive game. Blue side is slightly ahead on farm, but it's like 200 gold, so it's not exactly a massive worry.
Yeah, it's not too much of a problem. And while they just keep on farming, it's just allowing, and not actually dying, it's allowing this Hecarim to just power farm.
Yes.
He's already like a handful of CS ahead of the Vi.
Yeah.
The Vi was able to get some semi-reasonable ganks, blowing some summoners, but not enough to make up for the amount of lost time in farming that the Hecarim has been able to build up.
Yeah. It's also important to notice that the Hecarim hasn't actually had to go back at all. They were biffing, but it looks like it's just going to be...
And all in for the mid lane, and the Whoopie goes in with the Ignite.
It's going to be a mutual death, but the Ahri picks up the first blood. Two nicely used Ignites there from both players.
Yeah, pretty much just the last ticks of Ignite for both players.
Is this Hecarim going to die to the jungle? Is the opponent going to let me down?
Yes,
he is! Oh my goodness. That is the second time we've seen a jungler killed to a Krug. Admittedly, the Amumu earlier was a little more understandable. He was bandage tossing away while on 5 health. But yeah, you have brought dishonor to the pony tribe. Well, no, I'm not a brony. Shut up.
Well, he was sticking around on low health
for far too long.
He had not gone back.
He's now brought boots of mobility, and he's brought his hunters, trailblazer. Sorry, I understand, but I am surprised.
It's a little bit of a confusing maneuver.
Yes,
but that happens even to the best of us.
It definitely does.
A bit of biffing back and forth in the mid as the Vi comes to hold the lane against the Katarina. But nothing much happens there. Just a little bit more passive farming in the bottom lane, while Leona tries to get some angles, but doesn't actually find it.
Yeah, she has to walk into a lot of damage from the Sona, and she has to be.
Ooh, that does land
it. The Corki gets good time on target, but at the same time, Sona and Ez are just able to retaliate with a lot of damage.
Yeah, the return damage was pretty good, and the fact that Sona is able to sustain Ezreal meant that the overall trade was very heavily in favor of the blue team.
Yeah, and this is the problem with these engaged
supports.
If they don't actually get a very favourable rate of exchange, the heal supports just slowly retank their carries.
You kind of need to all in on the support just to make sure that they can't. You need to knock them out of the lane so that a lot more of your damage will stick.
Yeah.
If you're just allowing the healer to just keep on stay around and just continuously heal, you're just going to get. It's just a battle of attrition that you're always going to lose, especially as a Leona who has no sustain of her own.
Yeah, I'm also quite impressed to see how well the Sona is managing her mana. She's keeping a pretty good thing on. We've got a Katarina coming bot.
It doesn't.
The Valkyrie. Yeah, the Valkyrie gets out. Manages to avoid that stun. It was very nicely done. Although well played as well by Cat managing to keep that Shumpo so late. There was a bit of, I think, mind games there, and the Valkyrie and the M1 out. We've got 4-man dealing with the Scuttle Crab, the poor little bugger.
It looks like they're just going to go for the dragon. They have a little bit of vision outside. I don't know
if SwoleTeamSix is aware that this is happening.
They're looking for a lane gank of some sorts.
Yep, they've cottoned on, I think, and they're going for it. But I don't think they're going to be in time.
Or unless they do get in there in time. No, the Hecarim does pick it up, and here comes the fight. The Salt and Battery is used onto the Katarina, and they do use the Chilling Smite, and
they are going to get the kill.
The charm does actually finally land.
The Vibe backs off, lets the Ari, who is a little bit.
The Solar Flare does end up landing a little bit. They do pick up a lot of damage.
What on earth the Gnar was trying to do there, but it doesn't look like it's going to work.
The Hecarim actually manages to jump over the wall just because of the vision, and they do actually apply a lot of damage.
Assault of Dread.
They do actually get the kill.
That was an unfortunate Zenith Blade.
Second kill to the Hecarim. He's still. That's a lot of damage from the towers as.
The rocket gets the kill, and he might get a second one.
That's another kill for the Corki. That's a lot of trading kills just there. It was essentially a 2 for 2 in the end.
Yeah, but it's left the Corki on 2 kills with 78 CS compared to the nothing and 61 for Ezreal. So I think the Corki's sitting happy there.
Yeah, the Corki's going to be sitting a little bit more in a better position.
Also, the amount of time Gnar has spent away has allowed the Aurelia to catch up on CS.
Absolutely.
We're seeing this Blade of the Rune King build again from Gnar.
I'm not a big fan of it.
All of the things I said previously, I feel still apply. I think he's having a bit of a giggle, really.
Well,
I really do.
I'm not a big fan of it. The amount of gold you're putting into an item like that, when you are one of the only tanky members on your team, or the ones who can viably build tanky, it's too much gold going into a damage item that you're not going to get as much use out of. It's just a little bit of
it's a bizarre set of priorities. I think it shows again a lack of faith in the damage output from the rest of the team.
Well, that and they're probably just wanting to apply a lot of pressure in the lane, just trying to play for the lane instead of thinking forward towards the team fights and the overall objectives of the team composition.
Yeah, but he's still playing the kind of your towers. I'm indifferent to your towers kind of but he's taking too much damage while doing it.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just my opinion, man. So we're going back into a slightly more passive bot lane again. I think all the plays that people have been made for now. Although the Corki is very much ahead because they haven't been able to finish that Triforce, we haven't had the damage spike that you'd expect from that kind of items.
And with the Moramana actually finished up by, was it Manamune or Manamune first?
Manamune first, yes.
I can actually check. Manamune first? Yes, but that actually picked up. That's actually a pretty decent spike of damage early on in the game.
So despite the kills and the CS being against, I would actually say these are pretty level. And it's that kind of makes it SwoleTeamSix lane to lose rather than to win at this point. So I'd be apprehensive.
In terms of items, I'm a little bit intrigued to see what's going on with the mid lane in terms of items. There's an Aether Wisp, which I'm pretty sure it's Aether Wisp.
Yeah, that'll build into a Hex String. Hex String is the only... not Hex String,
no.
Sorry.
There's the Spooky Shadows, there's the Luden's Echo.
Yeah.
I'm
Luden's Echo is the thing I'm expecting, although it could be the Sheen, the AP Sheen.
The Lichbane.
Thank you. Lichbane, that was what I was trying to go for.
Fair enough. Don't worry, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. More
like,
traditional build from Ari, obviously. Obviously, just bits at the moment. Can
it
build
is
into nearly anything. A
Solar
beautiful Solar Flare there. And quite a nice defensive crescendo, but it doesn't actually do anything. I thought we were about to see a roll-on kill, that's why I stopped talking, but it doesn't appear to have happened.
That was a very good Solar Flare into the initiation, but
it looks like Vi was on a slightly different page than the rest of the team then. Really nice ulti and a combination of abilities there from Aurelia. Because that Gnar doesn't have those defensive items, Aurelia can get on top of him now and really unload tons and tons of damage all over the place. And I think it's going to start going against Gnar very quickly.
Yeah, with the Sheen, there's a lot of just burst damage, like in those really quick engages and
Rainbow Pony getting all aggressive doesn't really do much.
That happens.
There might be a little bit of ire there from the amount of CS Leona just grabbed, but oh well.
That has happened.
Cinder Hulk, not much of a surprise there. What item do... maybe a Skirmishes?
Yeah, the Skirmishes is kind of interesting. He does want to be kind of brawling a fair bit.
Yeah, I think it's that fear of the amount of damage.
He doesn't want to just get burst up in one single go. Just trying to negate some of that.
Also, because Hecarim is so fast as well, he doesn't have to worry as much about getting on top of them as a lot of champions do. So, Chilling Smite's still a good item, but not as great as it would be for others.
Yeah, and even though we're seeing a bit of a kill lead for SwoleTeamSix, God, I just can't deal with those names.
Yeah, it's not metastasizing into a gold lead. They're actually slightly behind.
Yeah, and that's purely from farm. There's a 10 CS advantage in mid and also in top, but Aurelia is trying to get onto the Gnar. As the Vi also comes up, and they are going to get the flash, they got the Bolt Breaker, they are going to lock him down. And that is going to go over to, they're going to hand that over to the Aurelia, and that is...
I will admit, I'm going to commend any jungler that's mana with this kind of thing of just passing these kills off.
I know here comes another fight.
But the cat, and there's no defenses for either of them.
That's going to be one, and then here comes a reset, and there's more damage coming down, and that is the double kill for the Katarina, and that is
not what you want.
Absolutely not. It was good to get onto the Gnar, but with the lack of vision, they did not see the Hecarim and the Katarina coming up.
And the Ari seems to have just stayed in place. Sadly, if they take middle tower, I can understand that suddenly you'll trade to Worth again. But she does do a lot of damage, but isn't able to take it. Hecarim just gets down there so quickly.
And the Luden's Echo is done as we come into
another break of some kind.
Probably
people finding
connection issues, but as the footy is kind of having a bit of problems, but that's okay. That happens.
All four of these people live in a house together, and I think they may have all disconnected en masse.
Oh, that would be a little bit of a problem.
Well, not live, but probably are all in the same house together. I think you may be seeing Ari being the only person defending the entire team right now.
I mean, Ari does have decent wave clear.
Yes,
can clear waves.
It can clear waves, but not in 3 lanes simultaneously.
No, you need Nezreal for that.
Yes. There are certain champions that can do it.
Either that or you need Earth.
True.
Earth mode would actually get that done pretty well.
Or Doombots.
Oh, God. Don't remind me, that was hell.
I love Doombots. I was like the only person that enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was hectic. It was manic, I think.
Yep, I think all of those words aptly describe Doombots.
And they can also describe Earth.
Yes.
Kind of manic.
Yep.
When you end up having a hack room just twirl his sides like a helicopter and you can't do anything about it, yeah, that's kind of terrifying.
Damn right it is. But at the end of the day, I have no finish to that.
That was just a self-statement?
My brain was trying to come up with something and nothing occurred.
It was just a set-up sentence with no finish.
No finish whatsoever.
Okay.
This has actually been quite a long delay, sadly.
They should be getting in at some point, hopefully.
Yes.
One thing with SwoleTeamSix's team composition is that once those two Triforces are picked up, that's a really significant power spike. If they're able to take advantage, maybe group up and get some team fights going with the Aurelia Triforce and also the Corki Triforce, you can do a lot of damage and also, apply a lot of pressure. You can siege towers pretty well. There's not a lot of reliable wave clear on the side of for the memes. Oh my god, these team names are just the worst. I just hate saying them, but yeah. But getting those Triforces picked up is going to be really significant. Yeah. Should they get back into game?
I'm hoping that they will. I may give it a couple minutes and then text and find out what's happening.
Yeah. Shouldn't be too long, hopefully. Is there anything else from this game that has caught your eye so far?
There's been really good mana discipline down bot, I actually say, from both teams. Sona is one of those champions that you can burn through mana like a dose of salts, and Leona has been doing a very nice job of not overcommitting. Committed to a few bad engages that didn't go particularly great, but also had the wherewithal to get out when they turned against them, and I think that's a commendable thing. Top lane is going
kind of how we expected.
Yeah, I didn't expect Aurelia to start pulling it back quite this quickly.
Yeah,
but I
think that time when Nah spent in around the dragon area with those little skirmishes, I think gave Aurelia enough time to get the items to be able to apply that pressure to the Nah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still waiting for people to get back into the game, as those Moby boots are just freaking out.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that happens. I'm actually not a big fan of Moby boots on Hecarim.
No, all your extra damage evaporates the second you hit somebody.
Yeah, that's why, with the top lane Hecarim, you don't build mobility boots. You usually build
swiftness normally, or tank if you're
like the home guard Merc Treads or the home guard Ninja Tabi, depending on what you're needing more. Those are the usual boot options. Okay, we've been told that in chat that they're logging back in now, so
yeah, it looks like they had a complete blackout of internet services, and they should be back pretty damn soon.
Sorry for the delay, but that happens.
Although I don't trust anybody who's apparently some kind of freaking mushroom person. I don't trust people with that kind of username. It's not right.
Okay.
Looks like we have something. We've unfortunately minimized the chat so it doesn't disrupt the game as much because we had people talking to us. And in our, Cleverness, we've made it too small to actually read.
It's probably still a good idea because God knows what they'll be saying. Relevant or not.
Probably not. I know these people. Relevance is not one of their strongest skills.
Yeah, because we know these people, they'll probably just... And they know that we're currently spectating them, they'll probably know that we'll probably be able to see what they're saying to us, but...
Yeah, I just received a text message. They say they should be about 30 seconds or so away from logging in.
So that should be a little bit longer.
Longer than 30 seconds on our side of things, because there is a stream delay.
Yeah, and also the spectator delay.
Yeah. We'll be fine. It will be fine.
Not a problem, no need to rush things.
Yeah.
Things are going rather peachy. There's only been one tower taken down with a little bit of just a 1.5k gold lead to the team for the memes.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get used to saying it.
Yes, it is, as we points out, a highly tactical pause.
Yes,
although it is, on the verge of turning into strategic length.
Yes. Tactical retreat, almost.
Indeed. Well, thank you for all 12 of our viewers who are staying with us.
Yeah. Thank you. We're not that bad, are we? Please. Anyway. Oh god, there's saying jokes in the chat. If I can just cover up the screen, it'll just cover up the stream, right? Cover it up on the stream. Is that how it works? If only that worked that way. If we could just hold a hand over the chat, it just doesn't. It's not there.
It's not a real thing. You are aware that your hand will not be on the VOD or the actual stream. He's literally cradling one half of the screen, just like trying to cover it from your views, but you can still see it.
Well, I can try.
Can indeed.
Yeah. I'm still not a fan of the
Wikalastii. How long would you like? How do you mean? How long before they log back in? I'm not exactly sure what your question means in the chat.
There's still another 19 minutes of pause times.
Yeah.
Here we go. We've got the Vi coming back in. They should be coming in.
Yeah, they
now.
should come in a flurry now.
Hopefully a flurry, and we should be getting back into the game just in a moment. Sorry for the delay, but that's what happens when you have Australian internet.
If you wish to enact change in the government, send your local government member a copy of this video and explain why the NBN is actually a good thing.
That would be an interesting discussion to have with a politician.
They'd be very confused as to what the hell you're trying to say and how you're trying to say it, but...
they'll probably just think of it as, our video games aren't working, give us the internet.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't help our cause, to be honest.
We will be spectating the... Nope, it's not what I want to do. We'll be spectating the game between Scrim Club and Here for the Memes. We have a bit of a thing for Here for the Memes, apparently. Our evil taskmaster John just likes to make us do it because the name upsets us.
It does a little bit, but... Well, what can you do?
That is our evil taskmaster in the chat, clarifying all the things for us.
But yeah, it's like... We know these people, so they knew that we were going to be casting this, so they probably wanted to give us a little...
Aha! The corky has reconnected! The valiant little bomber that could connect.
Forza Boys was actually streamed the prior game?
Yes, there will be a recording of it as well.
Yes.
Thankfully, we apparently aren't a democracy, and John's already planned everything. So
take
it up with him.
Everything has been planned ahead of time. This is not of our...
We resume in 2, 1. Yes, finally! We need to actually get control of the mouse.
The mouse went off.
Right, okay, so what do we have happening? Heckram is still holding mid. There's still a little bit of skirmishing going on down bottom. Everybody seems to be alive and paying attention.
Everything seems to be okay. Net issues
are resolved.
Have been postponed.
Excellent. Now, do something exciting.
It is a lot like that.
The vibe, the Na is very extended up top. We've got the vibe picking up red. Actually, a refresh on red there rather than an actual flat red. Who did she get it from?
I don't think that was a refresh.
My eyesight's terrible. A couple charms try to pick up the Katrina there, but sadly miss. We've got 3 people
attacking the crab because that's what you do.
Yeah, and Crab's a belligerent little crab.
Got to make sure you team up when you slap the crab.
I'm leaving that alone because I've been told to keep the stream PG rated. Okay, we've got aggressive move from Ari. It doesn't work out, although she does get out alive, but does commit her team to a very messy team fight. Okay, they've lost
2 already.
2 to 1, but they have got 1. Phosphorus bombs are doing a lot of damage to this overextending Hecarim. So,
but they are able to back out as the Irelia goes in onto the Ezreal, but he does shift towards his team.
The Leona engages, but sadly, just as the Ezreal, the
Irelia dies, so it's just setting itself in for another death,
and the Hecarim hunts down and clobbers the
Corki. So that's just an overall an ace for pretty much no death.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one death.
They got the Katarina, but she's back up now.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate turnaround, and it's massively advanced the here for the means gold lead that they already had.
Yeah, and they pick up their second dragon, which is... It's pretty good. It's not the most game-changing to have the first couple of dragons, but it is...
It's the 5 and the first dragon are the ones that you bank on. And the first one's more useful late game than it is first game, early game.
Yes.
So we have finally seen a Luna's Echo, which I have to admit I'm more than a little bit excited about. I love new things. I like change. It's all good.
It is fun to seeing little purple blobs of energy just sort of jump onto people.
They're purple? I thought they were green. This is why you don't have colorblind people casting normally.
Fair enough. Oh, as the Katarina does go all in onto...
somehow doesn't find the damage. Ari gets away quite comfortably.
But does have to go back while the Katarina is able to just push onto this lane.
But she's a Katarina. Those tiny little daggers do practically nothing to towers.
Absolutely.
And is now copying tower hits for the fun of it. Okay, Na has just demolishing a massive wave up top, while Irelia cowers a little bit behind it.
There's a little bit of action.
We're going to see a fight down in the bot lane, but I don't think anything's going to come of it.
Just a little bit of warding.
Now, Na's actually started building tanky,
but
now
it's probably not going to be enough
against this because obviously flat health doesn't work against Vi very well.
Yeah, and
we see Assault and Battery, and they're just committing everything to it. They want to pick up these solid kills whenever they can.
And it was really good timing, waiting for the Mega Nard transformation to run out, so he had a lot less of that durability, able to just lock him down and just...
And Hyper is less effective for an escape tool than Wallop is because you just can't lock people down.
We've got a
4-man murder fest down bot.
Oh, the Katarina gets hit with the Soul Flare. The Corki is still alive. It actually does go down eventually, and then the Katarina just spins to win.
And the Hecarim is taking all the damage. You can just walk out with impunity. Yeah, 2 kills and a tower.
That is not a good sign for... SwoleTeam.
Does not bode well for SwoleTeamSix. The gold lead is advanced to about 6,000 now.
And it looks like they're trying to... Oh, Vi does go risky.
In. There's 4 of them there.
Actually does have to flash.
Lands a nice stun on the sonar, but sadly can't make anything out of it.
The smite used doesn't get it. The smite used to secure the blue buff, but yeah, they're just able to... take control of the map now with a lot of their advantages. This 6-kill Katarina with how much gold? Oh, another 1,900 gold. Enough for another...
Needlessly large rod. The one you just brought.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, wrong person. It's the Ari that picked up the needlessly large rod.
Yeah. But the amount of the damage discrepancy between the two is starting to become a bit...
Pretty ludicrous.
Yeah, it's starting to become a bit of a problem. And let's see... Yeah, she does just pick up another needlessly large rod because why not deal more damage?
Yeah.
You have an item that scales on more damage.
Yeah.
So build more damage and do more damage.
When you've already got metric tons of damage, you may as well have imperial tons of damage. Just ramp it up as much as you can.
Pretty much. If you... Oh, fair enough. And the SWOL team does now have those two Trinity Forces.
I think they're a little too late
Yeah.
now because the damage is coming out from other positions on the team.
The advantage they could have gained from utilizing that double Triforce power spike has just been negated by the amount of early gold that the Katarina has been able to accrue and just pretty much delete anyone that comes near her.
Yeah. And nice charm again on the Sona, but
No
the
follow-up.
Sona is not the thing that you're worrying about.
Ari actually
Ari will
forced
get
to use
away.
the
Yeah.
ult. Forced to use the ult though, and the red buff that the Gnar has is that's gonna hurt.
It's just more damage and keeping him in range for longer to apply more hyper stacks.
That Loon's Echo is doing some work.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There are certain champions that I was expecting to see Luden's Echo on more, and Cat was one of them.
Ooh, it really does go in, but just does not have the durability to actually stick around in the fight.
No.
And the blades are just not really doing enough. They use the Vial on the Katarina, but she does actually jump out as the ult combo from...
Yeah, there was just nothing that could be
Yeah.
done. Sadly, the nice Valkyrie over the wall, some rocket. I don't know if they're going to be able to finish it because the Hecarim is so fast. They are burning flashes and everything. Sadly, nothing comes.
Yeah, everyone flashes. Nothing comes of it in the end. But there was a great team fight initiation.
Yeah.
For the memes because like they counter engaged really well. They saw the Vi ult coming in. They avoided the follow up engage and then just turned it back on them with the Gnar ult with the crescendo and just turned the damage right on them and just that was a quick few kills. And
now very tightly done. I'm intrigued to see what Nara's building with those two cloth armors. I'm going to assume there's going to be a Warden's Mail of some kind.
It's more than likely, there's the random ones right there, and that's going to be really handy against both the Vi and the Corki. But that's if they're into the point where auto attacks is going to be significant.
The issue here, and I'm not 100% sure going to last that long. Of all the ADCs, Corki is probably the least dependent on auto attacks.
Well, it'd be like Corki and Ezreal are probably the two least dependent on autos as...
Yeah, Leona just gets caught out, doesn't have the tankiness to survive, really only has a chainmail.
Yeah, and it's not enough.
Yeah.
With the blue build, pretty much kicking into gear with Ezreal.
So much of it's becoming like magic damage as opposed to physical. It's hard.
Has a lot of control.
Hecarim's here to secure with the smite and tank most of the damage. As soon as he turns on Spirit of Dread, he'll regain a lot of that health very quickly. Movement speed is obviously the nicest advantage Hecarim actually gets, just because it translates into more direct damage.
Yeah. It looks like Roots wants to make a little bit of a play on the top lane, but the rest of
the rest of the team are
is-
coming to make a play on him. They didn't realise he was there for the longest time, but
he
suddenly
just got caught out. He's trying to make a play,
he
and
looked
then
like he was running with the wolves for a second. He's just like, they won't notice me, and then they did.
and that's another kill for the memes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say at this point.
Yeah,
Charming
they're starting
the
to...
Hecarim stops him from killing the tower that quickly, but it doesn't
The lack of vision in
fix
that
the problem.
the lack of vision in that area just allowed for the memes to just get in there and
Nars over the wall, throwing rocks where he will, not hitting anything, but making a dynamic statement.
it's about sending a message. It doesn't matter if that message doesn't get received, but it's all the ultimate is used onto the Sona, but doesn't actually get too much done. No one's going down. The RE does go down really quickly as the Katarina is starting to get the resets. There was the third kill goes to the Sona, but that does give
It
the
doesn't
inhibitor
really
up.
matter at this point.
It's giving the inhibitor up. They probably will be turning back.
The Sona actually got the inhibitor as well. I think she may have blood in her mouth at this point, because she's claiming all the things.
Knowing the Sona, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, getting the Katarina another 2 kills, it's going to give her that, more than likely, that death cap.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, 2 grand. She's probably going to get a death cap and then some. Probably on her way
Death
towards
cap
a
and
void.
something a little bit pretty to go with.
On the way to the void staff. But yeah, it's not going to be fun for a Swole team to have to deal with this Katarina. It's going to be hard.
I'm not really seeing how I think they're going to pull it off.
Yeah,
basically she's just following in behind Hecarim, and
that's essentially what a Katarina needs to do. You don't need to go all in right away. You wait for the team to go in, you wait for all the cooldowns to be blown, and then you go in and then clean up the fight, get the resets, and then just wipe the enemy team off the map.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, as the Hecarim just smited the red away from the Ezreal.
Yep, I think there might be a little bit of dissension in the ranks there.
But Ezreal's got his own slow. He's got a frozen heart. Frozen fist, whatever it's called. Iceborne Gauntlet, that's
yes.
one. Gets the job done. As
it does indeed.
They look to be pushing towards mid, while Gnar is pushing onto this bot lane where there's that only remaining outer tower. Is probably a bit more...
It's looking a little vulnerable, I'm not going to lie. Top's pushing in Irrelevant, and Aurelia is being held there by the super minions effectively, which is giving Meme Squad pretty much free reign to assault mid lane.
Hecarim does go dancing into the laser, but doesn't get much done. Just a little bit of damage on him, but not much more than that. As Gnar continues to just push his way to victory. He's got this giant wave with him. It's kind of easy to...
This is where the Blade of the Rune King is paying off, because he is hitting towers quicker.
Yeah,
so
it's a very solo-orientated build.
If it's stupid and it works, it's not actually stupid, and I think that's the thing we need to be taking away from here.
Or, as they do go in with the Vial, but there's no backup. The Ahri is already down to low enough health.
Practically no health, dies to incidental damage.
The Gnarl does slam them into the tower. The Katarina is able to just deal a lot of damage, and the Ezreal is doing
all the AD people just start smashing away at the tower.
They're able to just tank the tower, even at the half-hour point. Even though the Hecarim does not have any armor built at all, he is still able to tank these inhibitor towers. And they look like they're going to try and finish this game. They do have minions from the top lane.
They do, and they're pushing in and tanking a lot of the tower aggro. Although they seem to be more concerned with kills right this second. Yeah. Corki is doing a pretty valiant job of keeping them at a distance.
Ezreal is in the back, just slamming onto the Nexus, but they are going to have to back off just a little bit as the rest of the team does revive.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably just going to have to go back, just probably wait for a pick, looks like. Yeah, they're trying to just pick them up as they try and... as Swole Team tries to make a play for a Baron, or a desperate Baron or something, but they're just not even going anywhere near that. Either that, or they're just trying to wait for them to leave the base and then just walk in and slap the Nexus.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to go in onto the Aurelia, but she's able to get away, not too problematically, but yeah. Now they back off for real. Yeah. They're just going to clear out the jungle,
possibly take even a Baron if they're healthy enough. Yeah. Zona will heal enough.
They're just going to go back, steal everything from the just steal everything from the enemy jungle. Go back, use the gold that you've already gained from all those one team fights.
Yeah.
And now Hecarim does have a Triforce.
Yes.
He is able to slap people in the back line.
He will now go from being that disruption that Hecarim we were talking about, that's the jungle-centric one, to just doing such a ridiculous amount of damage.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's really anyone in the SwoleTeamSix that's really built tanky enough to endure that now.
Not at all.
Some of them can get away or CC him, but not enough.
Just not enough. Considering the amount of damage from the other members of the team from all the memes, there's just too much damage to deal with. There's the Blade of the Rune King, which is doing a reasonable amount. I mean, still question it as an item for Gnar. But it has been working in this game. The Triforce from the Hecarim, those damage items from the Katarina, she is just going to be just dealing out so much damage. It's just not going to be fun to deal with. And Ezreal has kind of hit one of those breakpoints where you get the Last Whisper, the Iceborne Gauntlet, and the Moramana to just deal so much poke damage and so much poke control, which is kind of weird to say, but it does actually work.
The positioning where your opponents can go, because they know if they step out of the line, they will be poked to death.
And
there's a lot of damage happening from the Nexus.
Yeah, they're just going to hit
just being left alone. Ezreal is just hitting it too.
Yeah, they're just going to hit the Nexus. There's no fight coming in there. It's just going to be...
It's going to be, unfortunately, one-sided.
Yeah, but that happens. It was just some of those mid-game team fights around the dragon that just allowed for the memes to
just get that lead and monopolize on it, and sadly, SwoleTeamSix weren't able to come back.
Yeah.
I think we will be going to a short break now before we go to our final match.
It will be between, what was it?
For the Memes and Scrim Club.
Yes.
Alright, so have a good time, and we will